Hey, Minorcan Navy, Captain Andy coming to you from the Minorcan Mullet. Got a special guest here with us. I got LON Buckler here with us. I don't know, you Georgia fans, Georgia football fans might remember this guy. Played a little bit of football back I guess in about 1980.
Great year, 80 and 81. Yeah.
I think the Georgia Bulldogs did had a little special run that year.
We had Herschel and made a
May have won a national championship.
12-0, baby. That's
Pretty
right.
impressive. But LON is here with us today, out taking a look at the wreck site while Section 6 is coming out to be transferred to the VB 10,000. And a special note is that LON was here on St.simons when the ship rolled over.
That night. Yeah.
So he has become quite familiar with the ship. And well, I know it's been over a couple years from that when that happened.
Yeah,
and you've been back a time or two to kind of see what's been going on, and you were looking at it from the beach. But when you get up close to this thing and take a look at it, what's your impression?
It's really breathtaking. It really is. I never thought I'd be this close to the wreck, and it's really breathtaking to see the actual size and how many cars were in there. What,
4,200 cars in it originally.
Yeah. And there's still some cars today still dangling in the mast out there.
You can still see some of those cars that are in there, and they're probably in there too deep for the recycling crews to get to, but they're really not a big hazard. They're way inside the ship, so it's not a problem for the crews or anything.
Right.
And they're in the process now. They're going to get this piece back over to the VB 10,000 and lift it off of this dry dock and get it ready to go on the barge that has already received Section 3. So there'll be 2 sections of the ship placed on that barge bigger than a football field.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then that barge will leave and make its way around Florida, into the Gulf of Mexico, and then into Louisiana where they're going to process it. It's a special treat to have LON on board the boat with us today. And we're going to watch and watch this operation unfold. You guys stick with us and watch this show.
Yeah, the tugboats are pretty incredible too.
They put on
they do the job.
a heck of a job, and some of the most impressive work we've seen are these guys right here.
No doubt.
Well, we caught up with Section 6 on the dry dock, coming from the Port of Brunswick out to the site. And of course, the first thing we notice about this site is that ring of oil that's still kind of wrapped around the ship, and what caused the problems in the marsh and the beach when that oil got out of this section. This is the section that caused a good bit of the problem here as the ship was being cut, the big release we saw. We got the Crosby Star out front, pulling Caitlin alongside, and the Kurt J. Crosby, that massive tug on the back of the dry dock, pulling it out, getting ready, getting it in position. And it's a little bit of a process. You know, after the Star, after they get out, the Star has to separate from that front toe and drop back and put a line on the port side of the dry dock to get ready to start maneuvering it into the in between the catamarans of the VB. A little bit of a process, and we had the opportunity to get out and we watched all that take place. And yeah, there we are. That's the site. We're headed out over that big yellow double arch lifting machine, the VB 10,000, that's been cutting the ship into 8 pieces and doing the heavy lifting of these sections. Of course, this piece is going to be the second piece that's placed onto the Julie B. barge to transport back around to the Mars. That's the Modern American Recycling folks over in Gibson, Louisiana. And this is part of that process that they've come up with for getting these 2 sections out of Brunswick. And here we kind of see the Section 4 still in the water, back behind the VB, and that is where that dry dock's getting ready to go. as LON watches on. He was a lot of fun to have out on the boat today. And one thing that did happen today, we kind of weren't expecting to see this, but there was an outbound car carrier, and the section was there just outside the environmental barrier, and we watched this as this unfolded with the passing of this car carrier around the wreck site and that section 6 on the dry dock without a problem, without a hitch, plenty of room. And we see the Bravery Ace headed on out to its next port. Now, the guys started in, and we've kind of sped this up, so I hope the video quality turns out okay on your end. They made an attempt coming in, and things just didn't quite look right to the crews, and rather not take a chance and maybe bump it like what happened with the Julie B last time. They went ahead and stopped this attempt and dropped back and gave it another shot. But you can kind of see here from this vantage point how they're trying to maneuver it in, and they just really didn't like the feel. Maybe the current was running a little faster than they wanted to try to maneuver this piece in there. There's not, as you can tell, not a lot of room, not a lot of margin for error fitting this piece back underneath the VB. So
Roger
they drop back.
Hey, you know what, guys? This is not looking good. Hey, back Bertha. Let's back out of here. We're going to take another stab at it. Right angle is going in. Okay, backing down hard on Bertha, Mr. Buddy. Back hard.
And we see them coming on back out, recomposed themselves, and got ready for the second attempt. And here we go. Getting section 6 back underneath the VB. Again, this sped up a little bit here, just trying to save a little time, but you can see the maneuvering that's taking place by the tugboats as they're getting everything lined up, and it's got to be just perfect when it goes in there.
Roger. Stop Bertha. Stop Bertha. Stop Bertha. People talking over us. Okay, give me a little stronger thrust to starboard. A little stronger, coming up to 20. Yeah. Stop your thrust. Stop your thrust. All stop on the thrust. Yeah, we coming. You are 30 feet below. 30 feet below. Roger. Kick Bertha in. Let's kick Bertha in. Bertha's in gear. In forward. Roger, roger. Need to come. Another 5 feet to forward. Yeah, 15 feet below. Stern to starboard. Thrust your stern to starboard. Thrust to the starboard. Just say check it when I tell you. Okay. Stop Bertha. Stop Bertha. Okay, Bertha's all stopped. 5 foot to come flat to flat. 10 wide on the port side. Roger. Come on there, Star. Come on there, Star. You did good. Be inside, buddy. Flat to flat, both sides. Roger, roger. Stop your thrust. Stop your thrust on the curve. All stop. All stop.
Once they get her in there, they're able to just get away. The lines are brought from the dry dock section over to the VB, and they can actually winch it then because they have these powerful winches on the VB, and they'll use those winches to help pull that thing right into position, right where they want it, and then lock it down and get ready to pick it up, which should be happening right now. They should be picking this section up, and you know, this dry dock may be ready to come out of here before the sun comes up. We shall see. They seem to be moving along pretty good, and we hope that's the case.
Well, Lon, we made it out to the Sound today, and you got to see something that I'm sure you probably never seen before.
Yeah. Or ever will.
A big section of that ship coming back to be picked back up by the VB.
Right.
It's been a pretty exciting day.
No doubt. It was something that I'll never see again, I'm sure. It's a once-in-a-lifetime happening here on St. Simons, and it's good to see us coming to an end.
Yeah, that's the big. That's the big thing. Every time we see this thing's coming to a conclusion.
Right.
These pieces are getting out of here, and they're leaving and coming out of the water and being taken somewhere for processing,
right.
And that's a good thing.
Right.
And in particular, this section, this is section 6, and it was the one that caused a big problem with some oil spills we had along the beach. Some of that oil got out of the system, right. And got in along the beaches, and maybe a few birds got into some of it, and it was a mess. Oh, yeah. And we're happy to see this piece.
That was the fire too. Is that where the fire was?
The fire was in part of section 6. We could see that. You could see where that paint got scalded up on top of that thing. There's a big part of this thing, and that's where the fire, I think, kind of got started there when we were
they had to
separating
strengthen
that
it
section.
so they could get it out. They strengthened in there, and
it has been a huge process, and I will be so glad when I see section 6 leave St. Simons. Well, hey guys,
good.
We've been on here with Lon, having a great time today.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's fun.
Thanks for making the trip for us. And go Dogs.
Go Dogs. That's right.
Hey guys, continue to watch the videos. Send us some comments. Hit the thumbs up if you will. Hey, subscribe if you hadn't all. And like me and Lon, I tell him all the time, hey, you guys be safe out there.
That's right.